What is up? What is up? Can you hear me? I'm having a whole bunch of technical difficulties. So, Steven, can you hear me? My camera stopped working, all kinds of stuff. I've been trying to get everything back connected for 20 minutes. All good? All right. Well, I'm going to apologize in advance because I'm using the onboard MacBook camera because for some reason my wireless camera was not connecting. It was, and then it wasn't, and then it was stalling out. I don't know what's going on. So I'm using a camera that's not going to follow me around. So that kind of sucks. But I think the sound should be better because I put the receiver in the MacBook instead of Bluetoothing. So hopefully the sound is doing good. What is up, everybody? My name is Shane, Small Town Exotics. You can find me on reptile ads, Patreon, smalltownexotics.com, as well as YouTube, Instagram, and all those places. Use Town60 for a free 60-day trial of husbandry.pro reptile software. And now's the time to get in because the new version is coming out and it's badass. I've been beta testing it and everything. So it's really cool. I like it. So much faster, so much more intuitive. Today, we're doing the bucket of truth on why most new breeders waste money. I even got some bullet points today. So that's pretty handy. And while I clean, we're going to go over this. So what I'm feeling like, so I get a lot of messages from newer breeders. I have a Patreon. Go check that out too. Join me on the Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to a badass community of caring people. It's like a total family vibe. And I'm going to tell you, it's probably one of the few Patreons that I've been in and I've been around for a little while, that it's not like so much project focused. Like we all have different projects. Nobody's trying to sell you on a project. They're just trying to help you along. All of your Patreon money that you pay in is redeemable for reptiles. So you can get reptiles from me for those Patreon dues, or you could just not do it either if you don't like what I make, but it's a family vibe there. So let's go back to, oh, thank you, Steven. Thank you. Steven says you can't beat it. And Steven knows I'm not in there trying to sell you on a certain project or none of that. Like if you want to buy an animal and use your credits, man, have at it. If not, I mean, I'm not trying to push nothing on you. Just trying to help everyone in there, and everyone else that's in there tries to help each other. So it's actually super great. Let me get back over to the comments. Like I said, I had a whole bunch of technical difficulties, very frustrated. Seeing that now I'm hearing myself. Whatever. All right. So, why people waste money. All right. The first and foremost, I'm going to take this out. First and foremost thing that they do is they buy a whole bunch of different projects that don't mesh up with each other. That's a common rookie mistake. I made it. Lots of people have made it. We see pretty animals and we buy them and we think we're going to do something with them later. But once you get a couple years along, you realize a lot of this stuff doesn't go with each other. And you wasted a bunch of time and money. So first and foremost, the best piece of advice, and I'm not the only one that says this either, is do your research and pick your projects. For example, say you wanted Monarch G-Stripe Clown. You would want to start buying females that have like Visual Monarch, Het Clown with some genes, or visual monarch, het G stripe, or G stripe with some jeans, het clown, het monarch, stuff like that. You want to start building females in the project with the genes that you like already in there. Warning about picking projects. Don't pick the newest fad and what all the hype is behind at the current moment. I've seen it happen over and over. Those projects usually take a big dive later on because everyone jumps on board, spends a bunch of money on these animals, and then later on, all those same people start producing the same year, and the supply overtakes the demand, and it basically has like a little crash. And it's normal for the morph curve to go down as time goes, but it does reach a point if so many people get in one project, like hypo DG clown and stuff. I've seen it happen with that. I never jumped on board, but like DG clown was all the rage. Everyone bought in. Everyone was working towards it. Then all of a sudden, everyone's producing DG clown combos, and everyone's producing DG clown combos all in the same year or two, and the price just tanks. So just be aware of that. If you're buying into a project that has a lot of hype and you're expecting a big return, you're probably in it for the wrong reasons. You want to pick a project that you personally like. Like I personally like genetic stripe clown. That's my jam. I like it. All the offshoots. There's like hypo, there's DG versions. I'm now working towards monarch versions. I've picked my path. So like I am dedicated to it. That is my lane. All these other projects go up and down. I see ones that are really cool, but at this point I don't buy into those because I have my lane that I'm dedicated to, and all of my adults over there on the other side of the room, that's what all of those animals are dedicated to. I have limited time and limited space, so I can't have every project. So that's something you got to take into account when you're building a collection. So pick your projects based on what you like instead of financial gain. Like there is a financial side to it. You don't want to pick a project that's like killer bees or something, like a super pastel spider. You're never going to be able to sell those. I mean, if you really like one, see if you can go buy one somewhere and keep it as a pet, but that's not something you want to breed for. So there's that. But you want to pick a viable project, get a mentor to help guide you. And like, I would pick a mentor that's in a total different project. So, like his advice or her advice would be unbiased. They're not trying to sell you on an animal. Or join a cool Patreon like Small Town Xotics Patreon. Everyone in there is going to give you solid advice and real opinions. Number two, how people waste money. They get in, they buy into some kind of hype project. They're getting the females like they should, and they're already buying powerhouse males for these females. Like there is no reason when you got, I don't care how many females you got, 20 or 30 baby females, you should not be buying a powerhouse male that first year, and probably not the second year either. Think of these things kind of like electronics or whatever. You buy a male for say $2,000, $5,000, whatever, and all your females are under 500 grams. By the time they're breedable, that male is just a backup male at that point. So, I mean, there's that. You can have a backup male, but why would you pay cutting edge new prices for a male when it first comes out that's just going to end up being a backup male years later? Doesn't make sense. So, hold off on buying males, at least for at least the first year. Don't buy a male. You might want to buy a cool backup male your second year just to get them growing up. And that's what I mean by backup male. In case your later investment animal doesn't want to breed, you have a more mature, cool backup male that can fill in for that project. Here's a good one too. Overspending on equipment. Before you go out and get 15 Freedom Breeder racks or ARS things and Will Banks incubators and stuff, why don't you see if you like keeping these animals for the first couple of years? I mean, it can be a grind. Here I am Sunday morning talking to you guys live, cleaning snakes, when I could be doing something cool like rafting down the river or something. So before you go blow thousands and thousands on top of the line rack systems and incubators and all this stuff, get you a cool sea serpents. They make these for adults and everything too. Get something like that, and see if you even enjoy keeping these animals for a couple of years. I mean, assuming you're buying these females, you're growing them up. I mean, a year, 2, 3 years down the road, it's going to be about 3 years typically before your females can breed. That's a long time of taking care of animals. You might discover along the way that this isn't even really for you. And now you're stuck with all these expensive racks and blah, blah, blah that you're never going to use, and you're never going to be able to sell it at the retail price that you bought it for. A metal rack system, whether it's Freedom Breeder or ARS, does hold value better than a PVC system, though. So I will give you that. And then when you're producing animals, producing a bunch of animals that basically there's no demand for. Pairing animals just to pair them, just to get babies and thinking you're going to sell them. Always make sure that you think you can sell the animals that you produce, or be willing to hold them back until you can sell them. So the lesson there is don't overproduce. Don't overproduce, because what happens is a lot of people are shooting for all these numbers that people talk about. Oh, I want to have a 50 clutch year. They don't have the room or the resources to hold 50 clutches indefinitely. So then what happens is they start producing all these animals, and then they're auctioning off all these animals. There's not enough demand for those animals. These animals are selling for $5, $20, whatever. I guarantee you it costs you more than that to make an animal, period. So plan out your pairings to pairings that will move your project forward. Don't overproduce. Don't make pairings just to make pairings that you don't think you can sell. Be confident in your pricing. Ask people, and don't just go auctioning every animal you overproduce off just because you messed up, man. You got to be prepared to hold on to animals if you produce them. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Oh, here's a good one too. I'm so guilty of this. All right. Here's a hidden cost in wasting money right here. All right. So once you do start producing, you're holding back these average animals that you could use just in case. Before you know it, man, you're overrun. So it's better to really think it through. I have right here. This is 16 FB8s right here in this section of this rack. That's my holdback section. So every season I will fill this section up, and once I hit 16, I know I need to start really going back through it and deciding what's a holdback and what's not. So these will all, of course, these are going to be like cool animals. I know I'm going to be able to sell them, but I don't need to hold back 16 animals every year. And that's just food cost and blah, blah, blah. So there's a hidden cost for holding animals back that you don't end up needing that you should sell. Oh, and be aware of rodent costs too. Like before you build a big collection, be sure that you can support the food cost with them. You're not going to be producing for a little while. So say you come in with $10,000, you got to buy racks, animals, and you probably want to put some of that away for some rodents and make sure that you have a steady rodent supplier, or start breeding your own little rodents. So there's some choices there on the food side. And then, hold on one second. And then you want to go ahead and get you a logo and start branding yourself from the beginning. I don't care what anybody says. There will be people that'll say different, but you need to start branding yourself from the beginning. But don't go overboard. If you're waiting 2 to 3 years before you're producing, there's no reason to be spending thousands of dollars a year on shirts and stickers and hats and all this stuff when you haven't produced an animal. Get a solid logo, put in all the legwork yourself for free, just your time on social media. I guarantee you'll make a lot of friends along the way. And then by the time you're producing animals, you'll be known enough. Your brand will be known enough. So there's that. I've seen this happen a lot. This is a big one. And please listen to me, because I've seen my own friends do it and now they're out. Don't go investing way too much money using credit cards and thinking, as soon as you produce animals with these investments through the credit cards, that you'll be able to pay them off and life will be all hunky-dory. I've seen multiple people get out because they invested 20 grand, 30 grand, all on credit cards on these cutting edge projects that by the time they get there and they're producing them, they're worth a fraction of what they paid for them. And then now they're just barely able to keep themselves afloat with rodents and everything else that goes along with all this. And they never end up being able to pay off the credit card debt. Then they lose all their morale and end up selling the whole collection at a fraction of the retail cost, because they're just selling it all off as a bulk sell. And then they're stuck with all this debt. So I would not recommend putting a lot of money on credit cards thinking you're going to invest and get rich one day. You're going to be paying 20-something% interest. I don't care if it's interest free for 18 months, whatever. Those animals that you buy, unless you're already years ahead, your females take longer than that to grow up. So that's where I see people wasting money. Let me go into the comments here. Also, this is my buddy Steven here. Also, no matter what you have going on in life or with work, the animals still need taken care of, no matter if it's 5 or 500. And yeah, that's a good point. So that's something to consider when you start buying animals. Like, one snake isn't a lot to take care of. And then before you know it, you got 300, and it's a lot to take care of. Let's go. So we got Steven. Big J's in the house. America, baby, America. Yeah, it sounds like common sense advice, but like I said, I've had multiple close friends getting a lot of credit card debt, investing in all these cutting edge projects that they're going to make it rich one day, and it never pans out. I hate to see that happen. So don't spend a bunch of money that you technically don't have, counting on snakes to produce them. Because even if that project stays high and is valuable, there's a lot that can go wrong with a living animal. They get sick, they die, they don't eat, they don't want to breed. It happened to me. I bought a Confusion Clown combo for $7,000 at the homie hookup price when that animal was worth 10 grand. You know how much I got back from that animal? Zero. Nothing. That dude never bred, and I ended up selling them for $350. So that whole project crashed and came apart way before that animal ever did anything. And still to this day, he hasn't produced an animal, but he did have his first lock last week. So there's that. It's hopeful, but that's what I'm saying. I was able, I mean, that was a big investment. That set me back huge. That was like my one chunk of change for that year. And like, I've never totally recovered from that, you know, but I had enough other animals in different directions I could go that it didn't like make me totally fold. But I mean, that was a huge hit. And Lowe's, why are you in the mood for chicken? Is it like chicken and waffle day or something? It's like 9:30 in the morning. Last thing I'd be thinking about is chicken. Just saying. So, that is basically it for the Bucket of Truth series today. That's some solid advice, and I'm sure I missed a whole bunch, but those are the ones that stand out to me. So get in slow. Make sure you can afford the animals. Make sure you have the time, patience, motivation to take care of all the animals. And don't jump in spending a bunch of money thinking that you're going to be rich, because the people that do that usually fail. Pick a project you really like. You like opening the drawers and seeing it every day because you're the ones taking care of it. And you'll be more passionate about it, which will show when you're posting about it on social media. And that's what's going to, when you are excited about a project, it gets other people excited about it, and then they want to buy it. So that would be my pro tip for the day. That's it for this week's Bucket of Truth. Thanks to the few people that jumped on. And the replay will be up. I'm going to catch me on reptile ads. I'm going to start listing animals again soon. I got babies. We're cleaning babies right now. But catch me on reptile ads. And until next time, guys, rock on.